headlamp for hunting, or pretty much anything for law enforcement you can get. Also, they got the best lights out there. You go check our buddies out at powertac.com.
Deal. This week's guiding gun activities, Doug. What are you been up to?
Let's see. This week, let me see.
Found your notes?
Well, YouTube finally kicked in over here, and it started playing in my ear. It took it a minute to catch up.
Yeah, I know they really been dragging them. I'm just surprised we're still here right before the election.
Right, it's not like we're getting censored or anything by anybody.
Yeah, we're getting censored. Every time I post something they don't like, they take it down or block it or hide it or take all our viewers away.
Yeah, I know they fact checked me a few times this last week too. You gotta love them. Let's see, what have I done this week? God's side, I've been doing my Sportsman's Daily Devotional. Been also doing the hospital devotional. On the gun side, everyday carry, of course, I've been doing that. I picked up a little 6.5 ammo this week. If you find it, you better go ahead and get it while you can. I did a little gun cleaning also for a buddy of mine was looking to part with one of his rifles, and he was talking about the action not being quite as smooth on the bolt, as he's got a Tika and the Browning stuff, and it was a little sticky. You know, I told him, I said, well, I can fix that, man. But he said, if you know somebody is looking for one, he said, I'm going to get rid of it. So I did a little video and sent it to him. I cleaned that joker up, man. You flip up the bolt on that joker, will just drop right to the bottom. It's like, that's what it's supposed to do. So did a little bit of that, and I hadn't done much else other than work this week, seems like, man. It's just been chaotic all week. So that's about what I did. I did go vote, though. Hey, I went Monday after work, ran up and voted, and I only had to stand in line probably, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes.
Oh,
So
yeah?
So I don't know how it is in most states, but if you're out there listening today in Georgia, tomorrow is the last day for early voting. Mm-hmm. So if you want to do early voting, do it. If not, you're going to have to wait till Tuesday.
Yep. I don't know about here in Kentucky. I think they got early voting. I've always went and voted on the day of. Just been my habit.
Well, I normally do too. And that's what I like to do. But I have the opportunity to go deer hunting. So
take it.
I went ahead and early voted, and we'll take off. And we, a friend of mine, Joel, in 2016, we were hunting on election night, or that day, during the day, and then we watched the election that night, and neither one of us thought Trump had a prayer of getting elected. And so we're up and down through the night, had the TV on watching, and we finally saw that it's like, man, he won. So this time we're not going to do anything different. We're going to do the same thing we did last time, and hopefully that'll be the lucky streak for him, and he'll win it again this time.
Cool. Yeah, I remember sitting up that long night thinking, I can't go to sleep because I know what's going to happen here.
I know, right?
I can't sleep, you know. And it kept looking like, they need to call this for Trump, man. It kept on coming. Hillary wouldn't concede. And I was like, well, I don't know. I was getting a little ticked, and I was like, I was just about to go to bed, and then finally she conceded. Or no, her who was it? Her somebody conceded for her.
Yeah, campaign manager or something, maybe.
Yeah, he was that pervert guy. Finally came out and and then she never even showed up till like 2 or 3 days later. She apparently was on a drunken rampage or something.
Yeah, she's probably trying to get her server clean.
Yeah, she's like, I think the words were that they're gonna kill us or hang us up by our toes or something.
Dude, I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it's just going to be another. All these polls and stuff they're showing, I don't trust anything they say.
Nope.
I don't trust anything they put out because they lie, first of all, and just like Hillary, they had all the polls had Hillary, killing Trump, and beating him. I think it's just a way to try to get them to people not to get out and vote because they think it's not worthwhile to go because he's going to lose so bad.
I don't see that happening, but if it's one, it's going to be after like a week and a half of them stuffing more ballots in the mail and keeping the thing drug out as long as they can. But I don't see it happening on election day.
No, I don't either. Not unless he takes a clean sweep and doesn't need like, what is it, Pennsylvania that just authorize them to go like as long as they get their ballots 9 days after the election, they'll be counted.
Yeah, well, I think Pennsylvania's swinging back to the right after this jerk they've had up there this last couple of years.
Well, it didn't help any on Biden's case when he stood up there during the debate and said he was going to get rid of fossil fuels, and Trump's like, "All right,
the Keystone,
Pennsylvania, Texas, did you guys hear that? You heard him say it."
Mm-hmm. Yep. I understand. Was that got your guide and gun stuff for the week?
It does, man. What you been up to?
Let's see. Daily Bible reading. Did online church Sunday. I got church security this Sunday, and the Audrey's got nursery, so we'll be at church Sunday. Don't forget, we fall back this Saturday night, Sunday morning, so make sure you change your clocks or you'll be really early to church. Unless your person's always late, just leave your clocks as they are, and you'll finally be on time. But I don't know. Sometimes I like fall back, sometimes I don't, because you don't like have any evenings at all. It's 4:35 o'clock. It's dark. Yeah.
I wish they'd just leave it like it is and be done with it.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. But I've decided I'm 99% sure I'm going to fast tomorrow and Sunday, Monday, and break my fast as the election is announced on Tuesday. So I think that's the way I'm going to do it. I fasted for almost 6 months, 2 days a week, and then the last week and a half I fasted 1 day. Well, I fasted 2 days the last 2 weeks. But I'm just going to pray God has his hand on it. I mean, it's not just the outcome of the election. It's the aftermath of whether or not the Democrat communists are going to burn every city down. It's that they let them and riot and loot and cause mayhem, no matter what the results are. So I'm going to be praying for that. That's going to be my gun thing, God thing this week. It's coming next 3 days, 3.5, 4 days. But on the gun side, I went through and inventoried my ammo. I'd done that a while back, but I didn't think I had enough loaded magazines. So I pulled out some more magazines out of the deep larder and topped off those and cranked out a few, reorganized my cans. So I've got some ready to go cans and stuff like that. Freshened up my gun bag and my truck bag. Got my body armor with it now. And then just been working on a Scout a lot. Some of you guys have seen some pictures of that. Went through, checked all the drained all the old fluids, put new fluids in everywhere except for the differentials. I'm going to work on those maybe tomorrow. I got to go check some trees that potentially could be falling. May have to cut a couple trees down to keep them from falling on the fences. So we'll work on that probably tomorrow as well. The issue I've got with the Scout is wiring. The wires look good until you go to the connectors and they're all corroded and rusted and they don't have any, I'm not getting any voltage through them. So I'm going to have to replace the wiring, or at least the main wires that run the motor and fuel pump and well, fuel pump, I guess, is a mechanical fuel pump, but I have to run the main wires to get the sparks to everywhere it needs to go. Put new plugs in it. Check the cylinders with the scope, and I do have a gas tank. I thought last week I didn't have a gas tank, but it just is so rusty inside. It actually is a gas tank, so I'm probably have to take that out. Probably replace it. I don't see, and I got the little scope. I got a scope that I don't know if you guys have seen them. They work off of Wi-Fi. And they connect to your phone. And my brother gave it to me for Christmas like 4 years ago or something. And so when you got a little tight spot you can't see into, I used it to check all the cylinder heads of the engine. They looked okay, and I was checking the gas tank. And I didn't have it cranked up bright enough, and it still wasn't hardly enough light. But I could see holes in the bottom of the tank, so I know that the tank's going to be repaired or replaced. And so that's like $200 to $300, and then fuel line looks good, but I'll probably replace that too since I got inked all that out of there. And then the brakes are new; they're all drum brakes all the way around. But the wiring harness, I was going to buy one of those plug and play wiring harnesses. There's a couple of companies that make them. The best company out there makes the best one. It's $1,500 for wiring harness. And I'm like, that's more than I paid for that's more than I traded for that whole, the whole vehicle. I just don't think I'll be doing that. So I imagine I'll be buying wire and making my own wiring harness. There's only like 40 wires. It can't be that hard. I mean, I've wired and terminated whole conveyor systems. I think I wired 29 miles of wire in the first conveyor system I wired back when I was a young guy. I think I can handle 44 wires.
Oh yeah. Hey, Bill said there's a coating you can put in your tank that will seal it and keep the inside from rusting.
Yeah, I see holes in the bottom of mine. I think it's too far gone for that. I see
Get you some Flex Seal, man.
Flex Seal, yeah, Flex Seal, yeah.
Come on,
right in your carburetor with that stuff too, bro. I don't know.
Drive first.
I'm probably going to take it out and take a look at it. If it's not too hard, I might just try to weld up a new tank. I mean, I learned from Ralph Lobb. I mean, how hard could it be?
I know, right?
I learned a stick welder. I'm thinking with a wire fed, I think I could probably make it whole fuel, you know. But I don't know. I'll take a look at it when I get it out. I got to take off the rear tire and knock all the rust out of it and drag it out of there and see. And then I'm gonna need one on the right side too. I'm sure there's no filler hole over there, so somebody closed it up or they never had one in it. Most of them have a tank on each side. But yeah, that's first thing I got to do is get the wiring to see if I can get the starter to crank over. If not, I'm thinking about maybe just pull starting, have Gunner take my truck and pull me down the driveway and just make sure it'll kick over, spark plugs, and we got enough juice to the engine. I'm thinking we should be able to get it at least turn over and see if she's going to kick over. But I'd like to get everything. I'd like to know what the engine's like before I put any more money into it. Pretty much, if she's going to hold compression, because I can't tell if it's going to hold compression. I got to jack it up and put a breaker bar on it, and I got a compression gauge to put on it. Check, make sure it's going to hold everything. But that's a whole lot more than people really care to hear about. With wiring is the main villain right now, and then the gas tank after that, I guess. Did some winterizing. Had to winterize my mom's RV, mom and dad's RVs at my place because they don't have any place for it there in town. And so I went out and winterized it, blew all the water lines out, and put in some antifreeze in the lines to keep those from freezing, because it's supposed to get down to 34 to 32 tonight here in Kentucky. And then did my pressure washer, drained it out, and drained all the gas out of it, and emptied the carburetor. And then I actually stored it in my basement, so it's a really nice steel one. I really like it. I don't want it to crack the pressure housing. If you ever had one of those happen. Did get in some cool stuff today. Came in.
You did.
Ernie Bray sent me over some stuff from the dev group, the X2 dev group. This was a little packaging that came with it. I got the what is it called? The F. You think I could read? The VF18X2 event forward brake. I went ahead and put it on the bunker buster, and she looks pretty nice. I think she looks pretty good. Looks pretty aggressive on there. It's made for short barrel rifles and short barrel AR pistols. I like the looks of it. I just literally put it on right before the show. I went up to the tool bench and took off the little bird cages on it. Oh, and they also sent a Jackal X2 ambi charging handle. You guys,
I like that.
It's a nice wide charging handle in there. I dropped that in there, and I like it. Man, I like the way I like the feel of it. It's got a good, easy to get a hold of grip. Put this over here so I don't hurt myself.
You shoot that brake a few times, and you reach out and touch somebody with it. X marks the spot.
It will brand them.
Yeah.
We'll leave a mark on that one. But go try them out. Excuse me for coughing y'all's ears. I've got a barking spider from Spike's Tactical, which is like the granddaddy, I guess, of those forward venting muzzle brakes. I almost should call them muzzle brake. They vent the gas and the noise forward, and they're supposed to keep you level. So I'm gonna put it up and do a comparison between standard just bird cage. It comes on with that little A2 bird cage. It comes with them, and then I'll do one with this one, the X2 dev group forward venting, and then I'll do one with the barking spider to see how they compare. I don't know anything about it, but go try them out, and they, I mean, from the looks, looks are cool. Or he said he's gonna send one out. I said, well, I'll buy one. I like the look of it and everything. I think I'll buy. He said, well, send it out there and let you try it out and see if you like it. And to my surprise, he also sent one for the 308. So they've got it for the 5.56. They got it for a 243. They've got it for 2.64, 6.5 Creedmoor. They got the 308. They got the 9mm AR platform.
They got it for a 6.5?
Yeah, they got it for a 6.5. 2.64, 6.5 with a 5.8 24 thread. And they also sent me a charging handle for the 308 AR10. So the Jackal for the AR10. So I told my wife I'm going to have to go out and buy AR10.
There you go.
I do have an AR10 back in the back of the safe that hasn't been out forever, that Wyndham Weaponry sent me. Gosh, what was it, 5 years ago?
That's probably more than that. It wasn't
5, 6 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, at least.
I put a scope on it, zeroed it in, and shot it. But something about that, it's not a true AR-10. It has some proprietary differences in it. I can't remember why. I think the gas tube is different. The forearm is different. But the charging handle probably is the same. And I'm thinking if it's got the same thread pitch, it might work. I need to dig that out.
Mm-hmm.
And slap that. I've got a Trijicon Acog in 308. It's currently on Puff Senior, the HK91.
Puff
Senior. Yeah, I told him I had an HK51 or the PDW, whatever you want to call it. 8.5-inch barrel. Man, I'd be throwing some fire through that thing. But that I'm thinking that it's a 16-inch. I think it's a 16-inch carbine that Wyndham Weaponry. It's an AR-10 ish type thing. I can't remember what the difference is. I don't think the trigger groups are the same, and I don't think that the forearms are the same. and maybe the gas tubes are a little bit wonky, but I'm thinking probably the threaded barrel will be the same, and I'm thinking that the charging handle should be the same. Can't foresee it being different, so I have to get that out and give that a shot as well. So we'll work that out. If that didn't work, we'll have to go buy air tin. That's all there is to
it. Just do it.
I got to sell something. Maybe some doors off my Scout, man. You check Scout parts prices. My gosh, original parts. I think I saw an ashtray on there for $112. I'm like, I think I could do without the ashtray for $112 on eBay.
Yeah, I think you're probably good.
I actually have two. I had a guy that I bought a spare door off of, threw in that license plate thing. Well, we're getting way off topic. All right, EDC, what are you carrying tonight, Doug?
Usual suspects, Glock 19 with my student of the gun night vision sights on it, and also have my Spartan auto knife. And let's see what else I got. That's all I got out here with me right now. I had Puff out here earlier, and I took him back in the house. I was messing with doing something else and forgot to bring it back out.
Y'all done seen the Bunker Buster, and then I got the Glock 30S I'm wearing tonight. And what blade have I got on me tonight? I was doing some knife sharpening. Oh, I got the Microtech SOCOM Elite folder, auto folder.
I was hunting this past weekend with a buddy of mine, and I took the thermal down there with me just so they could see it, and they want to shoot some dillas with it at night. They're like, they were looking through it and they hadn't looked through a thermal before, and they're like, man, you could see everything. We got out of the woods Saturday evening and got something to eat and come back. I said, let's see if there's any deer out. You could see out back. There was some white oaks back there, and I just turned the thermal on. I did a quick scan. I'm like, oh, there's 3 standing right there. He's like, what? I hand him the gun. He's looking, and then what really tripped him out was I connected the scope to my phone, and I just handed him the phone, and I'm scanning with it. And he's like, oh, go back. There's something right there. I'm like, yeah, that's a dilla. So he wanted to kill some armadillos at like 3:00 in the morning. I'm like, dude, you pull the trigger on this thing right now, and the brake on that thing is, it's loud.
John Atkinson said J.C. Whitney.
Yeah.
Whitney. Yeah, I've got to look at J.C. Whitney. I've looked everywhere for Scout parts. I have not been over there, I'll have to say. I don't know. Does the LMC make a book for Scout parts? I know they do for Chevys and Fords. And I wonder if they got one for, probably not. But yeah, that project's going to take me most of the winter and probably part of the spring. That wiring's going to be fun because I got these big chubby fingers and they don't like getting in these little tight spots. I think I'm just going to go ahead and like pull a wire out and measure it to length and put new ends and crimp on there, and I'm gonna tag it. We used to have a little label printer. We used to have these little label printers at the company I used to own, and it printed out whatever kind of number you wanted to on there, so you could match it. You could put names and stuff on there. I wonder if that's something that's reasonable to get these days. But they were waterproof, so you could tag all your wires so you knew what it was going to.
Right.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, that $1,500 for a wiring harness, man. I was like, you gotta be kidding.
Holy cow! That's
just nuts. I'm just gonna buy some multicolored wires and some labels and stick them on there. Some kind of I don't know. But I did get my garage organized. That was another project I was working on last week. I got all my tools back to one location. I got all my toolboxes back to one spot. I've got like a farm toolbox, and then I've got a electrical toolbox, and then I've got a gunsmith toolbox, and then I've got all kinds of different mechanical sets that are hybrids of different things and hand-me-downs and everything. And I organized everything all into the garage, except for my gunsmith stuff's all down here in the bunker. But everything else is out in the garage. Finally got them all together. I ordered some tool trays to go in my toolbox. So I have all of them laid out in the right order. And I'll have metrics in one drawer and standards in another. And I won't be digging through tool bags and toolboxes and stuff trying to find stuff. So I need to build a shop, but wait until after election, see if I gotta head for the hills. All right, so all right, gun stuff. What have you got in there? Concealed or EDC stuff. What do you have for a joke today?
So I don't think I've done this one. I don't remember hearing it if I did, but if I did, sorry. So this is a child's point of view. Mm-hmm. Story of Adam and Eve was being carefully explained in children's Sunday school class. Following the story, the children were asked to draw a picture that would illustrate the story. Little Bobby drew a picture of a car with 3 people in it. In the front seat was a man, and in the back seat was a man and a woman. The teacher was at a loss to try to understand how that illustrated the lesson of Adam and Eve. Little Bobby was prompt in his explanation. He said, "Why, this is God driving Adam and Eve out of the garden."
Okay. All right. Let's see.
You didn't like that one?
It's a dad joke.
Is a what?
It's a dad joke.
A dad joke?
Yeah. All right. Let's see.
I'm running out of good places to find good, clean jokes.
Who's our joke guy that has always provided jokes? What happened to him?
Chad. He can't find them either.
Chad has fell down on the job.
Brian said that was Brian liked that one. So
Brian liked that one? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I read it earlier.
Oh, well, it could have been.
You have to blind it so I can't see it until.
Start surprising you with them.
Surprise it with me. You just can't put it in the show notes till after you read it.
There you go.
All right, tonight's Bible verse is sort of the title of the show tonight. We're going to be in. I got too many windows open. Trying to do too many different things at one time here. All right, so we got over here on Joshua 1 and verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened. Do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So that's sort of transition into tonight's show as believers. I mean, all we're thinking about right now, I mean, Doug and I, we didn't even tend to start talking about politics, but everybody's talking about politics. I go to my chiropractor, he said, how do you think it's going to go? How do you think it's going? I talk to my cousin, how do you think it's going to go? You think it's going? Everybody looks at me like I'm some kind of a political guru or something. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, 4 years ago, we were on this show, and I remember you and I talking and saying, we don't know what Trump's going to do, but it's better than Hillary, we hope.
Right.
And for the most part, that's true. I mean, the part where he went and banned bump stocks is a little disconcerting. And that they really hadn't advanced any kind of pro-gun removal of restrictions on Second Amendment infringements that we were hoping for. I mean, he sort of, and his son was like, really pushing, hey, he's pro-gun and I'm pro-gun, and we're going to get rid of the stuff. We're going to have suppressors without ATF being involved, and none of that really happened. So that was disheartening. But for all the things he did do, I mean, he's the most pro-life president we've had since Roe v. Wade. What, 73 was it, Roe v. Wade? Since they allowed people to start killing their own children back in the 70s, he's the most pro-life president we've had. He's tried to defund the killing of babies by public dollars. I mean, he's done everything he can for that, but he's got a wimpy, wishy-washy Republican Senate that are more liberal than they are conservative. And then he's got not a lot of good Republicans in the House to I mean, he's got a few, good sharp arrows, but he doesn't really have enough of a majority in the House to be able to push anything. And that's where, he can only do so much as president. So
Right.
if you don't have the politicians to write the laws that would, or repeal the laws that are infringing upon rights, there's not a lot. I mean, he can't do a whole lot by official edict. Presidential orders only go so far. Well, they do give you gun bump stock bans, I guess. But as far as having reversed any of the stuff, he hadn't done it. And so I understand there's a lot of heartburn out there with it. But he has promoted pro-life, conservative, Second Amendment, supposed standing judges, 3 Supreme Court judges. Thank you, Jesus, because we needed that as a firewall for what is always on the horizon. Justice Roberts apparently had flown airplane down to Jeffrey Epstein's island, and they must have pictures of him doing something he shouldn't be doing, because every time there's a vote where he should be a conservative, he flips. Somebody's got his number or got pictures of him naked with children or some kind of weird something going on, because that dude he's just two-faced. But now that we have three, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Now, hopefully, it's back to 5-4.
Hopefully it's 6-3. But
it should be 6-3, but I'm hoping for 5-4 because Roberts is going to flip. You never know which way he's going to go. He
has been flipping.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got his number, man. I tell you, it's just disgusting. But all I said, back to the verse. We really don't live here as believers. We're aliens. The scriptures say we are aliens in this world. We're just here for a moment, and then our eternal life is going to be in heaven. But that doesn't negate the fact that we should live for Christ while we're here. It doesn't negate the fact that we should try to live a life of light and love and peace and joy and harmony. And sometimes that means you have to take care of some really bad people and do something with them to have peace and unity and keep them from killing you and your children, which is the history of the world. There's always been tyrants. There's always been the masses wanting to gang up and kill off other people. And that doesn't change just because we have new toys and tools to do it with. It's always a constant fight of good versus evil. And you have seen that in this last 3-4 years, at least last 4 years, of people who are just demonically controlled. There's no other explanation, I don't think, of how these people are reacting. I mean, they are vehemently wanting to kill children to the point of even after their birth. These people are evil sick. I mean, I don't know how I should describe it. They're lost in their sin. They're blinded by the god of this world, Satan. And so, going back again 4 years ago, I told everybody on this show, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, people in my church are like, I'm not voting for anybody. I'm like, you got to vote for somebody. Lesser evil is still less evil.
Exactly.
And that's where we came down to. 4 years ago, we was like, less evil is still less evil. And so it's not the optimal choice, but Jesus isn't on the ballot, and there ain't been nobody perfect since. But the thing about Trump was he wasn't a politician, so that's why so many people liked him. He spoke plainly, directly. He didn't do that political speak and saying one thing and doing another. He actually did majority of what he said he was going to do. He would have done more if he'd had a Republican Senate and representatives that would actually stood up and done something. They wasted that whole first year, just wasted it. They had an opportunity to make some major changes, get rid of Obamacare, get rid of a lot of horrible, horrible things while they had the majorities, and they just sat on their rear ends and let the Democrats run him through the ringer. And so I don't know, man. I think a majority of both parties are of like mind, and we just have a few statesmen, politicians that think the Constitution is what we should live and die by, and the rest of them are easily bought, swayed, manipulated, pushed around, bullied. They get caught with their pants down, something all the time. And so we know that we live in a fallen, dying world, and we know that our only hope is in Jesus Christ as our Savior, and for that hope for eternal life and for peace out of this world. We're not going to find peace on this world. We're not. Peace through strength, yeah, but you got to kill a lot of people to get peace. And so then who becomes the tyrant, right? At some point, if all you're doing is having war with every country that you don't get it wrong with, then you've become the tyrant, right? And so I think that my prayer, and this is a prayer I'm going to be praying for the next 3 days until the election's over with, is for the Holy Spirit to come and convict this planet of its need for a Savior in the name of Jesus, and that we will be able to push back against the evil that has risen its head, has come out into the open. The thing about Trump is he has lured the monster out of the cave. There is no doubt who the enemies are, because they say it. You see who the people in industry are that are paying for this atrocity, who are supporting this kind of stuff. You see who has now been flushed out into the open. The Bidens have been taking money from China for influence. We know that Obama knew about it. We know that Hillary was doing the same thing with Russia and other countries. We know that Nancy Pelosi's son's in the middle of all this stuff too. So the majority, I say the majority of Washington in some way or form or fashion have been compromised by the Chinese communists, and some of them by this New World Order bunch that want to enslave us all. I mean, communism is enslavement. I mean, if you're a person of color who is really upset about slavery, communism is the ultimate form of slavery. You don't own nothing. You won't be able to ever own anything. You won't be able to make anything more than anybody else makes. And whatever you do, you're going to pay the same. And it's going to be not enough. And then there's going to be a scarcity, and you're not going to have things. Look at every communist country that's ever existed. They all fail. They're all suffering. They're all amoral. They're all dregs of society. They all get drunk and they're all on drugs or alcohol or something because they're miserable, because it's a miserable existence to be a slave. And so, jump here, Doug. You take over for a while.
Oh no, you're on a roll, brother. Go for it.
It's just, we don't want to put. I mean, we see that Trump has fought hard. I think the man's the hardest working man I've ever seen. And I've known a lot of hard working men, but the dude is like 20 hours a day going at it. He's got a team of people working on the agenda that he wants to work on. And some of the things we think are important that should be front and foremost, he's working on some stuff to try to keep us out of wars. He stopped more people from being killed. I mean, our soldiers are hardly any of them being killed compared to the last 12 years under the other two administrations. Previous 4 years. I mean, we're talking about, under 1,000 soldiers have died in the last 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like 700 or something. I saw something last week compared to under Obama and under Bush Jr. That we had, 15,000, 20,000. It was crazy. And the number of injuries, he's pulled us out of places we don't really need to be in. Then there's a lot of arguments on that stuff, but he's got more. He's already been nominated for 3 Nobel prizes, peace prizes, and just this year.
But he didn't get any media time, nothing for any of that stuff.
No,
He gets no media time for anything good. The only thing he gets is anything they want to impeach him on. Which I made the comment this morning to some folks. I said that if this Hunter Biden thing was Donald Trump, it would be on every newspaper, on CNN, MSNBC. All of that nonsense would be broadcast, and Nancy Pelosi would have already started impeachment charges, the whole 9 yards.
they'd have done stormed the White House.
Oh yeah,
they would have thrown themselves on the machine gun fire if they had any evidence like they've got on Biden that Trump was doing anything like what he's been found to be doing.
The only ones that are showing anything about it is Fox News and the New York Post, who just got their Twitter account back today because they had them censored because they wouldn't take it down. They're like, no, we're not taking it down. They're like, well, you're not coming back up.
Yeah, that's the thing is that Facebook's got us over a barrel. I sent you something yesterday. I'm like, look, they got us. They said that they got us. They turned down our people's ability to see us because we had a fake story. I had to dig back 2.5 weeks to go back and find something that they flagged. Well, because they flagged that, they decided that they weren't going to let our people see our post.
It said they cut our viewers by half.
Yeah.
So I was wondering why people hadn't been commenting on stuff that we've been putting out there.
Well, yeah, that. I mean, it's been a mess. It has been a mess. Troy for president. Yeah, I wouldn't put my family through that for nothing.
I was talking about it this morning. Trump has done the things he said. The economy was great. Unemployment was great. Taxes, he cut taxes for everybody. You got more money in your pocket. I don't understand why anybody would vote for Biden. He's already told you he wants to increase your taxes. He's going to increase your taxes if you make over 400,000. But he also said that the middle class wouldn't get any, but he's going to reverse all the Trump tax cuts, which means it is going to get us.
That's the thing is, you got to be a really economically illiterate person to think that taxing the rich is helping you. Who are the rich? The rich are business owners or corporations, right? Or people who own corporations. Well, the rich don't pay taxes. I keep trying to tell people that. And it's not because they're evil. It's because they add that tax to the cost of the goods or services that you buy. And so when you tax the rich, your cost of goods goes up. And so you have less money to buy things with. It's very simple. You tax somebody who owns a business or a corporation. They can only function if they are able to pay their bills and taxes. They're not going to go out of business because they're not going to eat that tax. They're going to add that tax to your McDonald's burger or your car part or your brand new Chevy for 2,500 pickup truck. That tax gets added to the value, to the cost of that good. You're paying the tax. More taxes is harder on the consumer and the little guy. It's hardest most on the poor person. So when you say tax the rich, you're taxing yourself. You're causing your money to be worth less. On top of that, they're printing money.
Mm-hmm.
The Fed prints money. Whenever they need to borrow money because they're spending more than they're getting in from taxes, that makes your dollars worth less. So not only are you getting taxed because the cost of goods are going up, you're getting taxed because your value of your money is going down. You might get a 3% raise, but they're printing money at 4 to 5, 6, 10%. And so your money might look like it's coming up, but it's really going down. And so it's all numbers games between the global bankers, that are in charge of the Fed, the evil corporations, right? The evil corporations are the ones that are getting subsidies from the government, because not only are you paying astronomical prices for drugs, which are a lot of times helped out by the government, but for solar energy, which can't make it can't make money. There's no profit margin on renewable energy. No. You got government pumping money into this stuff, trying to make it work. It's not profitable. Solar farms and wind farms, they lose money every time they install one. They never make money. The people that sell them to the government and municipalities that buy them, they're making money and laughing all the way to the bank. But the people who run them, they never make money. They never do. Now, someday maybe. But if it's not a profitable venture, we shouldn't be throwing our tax dollars, people's money that they earn, at it. They should develop that on their own. There should be a risk reward, and when they make it big, they should sell it for as much as they want to. But it's not feasible. And that's the whole trouble with government people, is that they don't have any knowledge of how business works, how the economy works. All they know how to do is take money from the economy and go throw it around everywhere and hoping that it's fertilizer and it makes things grow. It doesn't work that way.
Well, what was it when during the economic stimulus back when Obama and Biden were in there? Remember they pumped all that money into the economy, and they gave, I forget how many billions of dollars they gave to lights. So you didn't have
Solyndra. Remember Solyndra?
Yeah, Solyndra. There was a
bunch of them.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them. But the light bulb place went out of business. They took the money and then they declared bankruptcy and went out of business.
You know what that was, though? That had nothing to do with the green energy.
No,
that's campaign. That's campaigning money for them. They give money to their friends.
Yep.
Who create these fake companies who give money back to the Democratic Party. They're stealing taxpayers' money, giving it to some of their crony friends who take their cut and go out and get rich and drunk or whatever, and then they throw money back in the Democratic Party. It's the same way with the abortion industry. They throw money in the abortion industry, and the abortion industry throws money back in the form of campaign donations and helping these people get reelected. Yep. It is criminal. It is corrupt. It needs to be processed under RICO for gang activity, because it ain't nothing more than a big gang under the name of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. They both of them do it. Most of the time the Republicans get caught because the Democrats won't get caught, but the Republicans get caught when they try to do it. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing with the military-industrial complex. You got throwing money into the military-industrial complex. They're throwing money back in to get them reelected. It's the same thing on both sides, all sides. And then you got foreign governments giving money to Biden and his crackheaded son and getting influence peddling. I mean, there should be a lot of nooses in Washington, D.C. for all these traitors. There should be. There's not, because people want to believe their political party is God on a hill, but it needs to be a bunch of nooses in Washington, D.C., and we need to be hanging a bunch of these traitors. I tell you, if the American people would wake up to what's going on, it would be a new day. But I don't think they'll ever. I think they're just too brainwashed.
All this stuff with Hunter Biden and Biden taking all this money. If he gets elected, what's he owe China? What's he got to pay them for all this?
It's not just Biden's. I mean,
no, I know, but he just got caught.
Yeah, he's the one that got caught. But did he get caught? I mean, God forbid that they win. No, that's going to happen. Barr sat on his butt. He didn't prosecute anything. The FBI had that laptop for a year. Yeah. A year.
Well, who trusts
a year? They didn't do anything with it. We got a corrupt FBI. We got a corrupt CIA, we at every level, they all want to try to take away the rights of the people and suppress us and put us. Really, they all want us under communist thumb, where we're all enslaved. And to the great degree, we are. I mean, our monetary system keeps us enslaved. I mean, I have to pay taxes that are if I'm going to have to get another job because the taxes on our property. I won't be able to keep my property by the time I'm too old to work. You know what I'm saying? The taxes are eating away. In the last 4 years, I've paid. Last 4 years, I've paid collectively $15,000 in taxes on this house.
Mm-hmm.
$15,000 in tax. That's just on the house, and then another $900 in automobile taxes a year. And then you put on insurance on top of that to insure all this stuff that we keep running around here. We're leaking in seven, man. Money is oozing away, and hard work and hard earnings all these years in between taxes and insurance, healthcare.
Right.
We didn't have a healthcare problem until government got involved and started mandating all these different types of coverage and stuff that we had to have. Well, we don't need that. I don't need every doctor visit paid for. I always want to plan that if it's over $5,000 or $10,000, that it kicks in and it covers everything over that. I can scrap together $5,000 within a year and pay that off, right? But I can't. When you're paying $27,000 in premiums and co-pays before the insurance kicks in, that's not insurance.
Mm-mm.
That's robbery. I mean, that's robbery. We don't utilize that much health care. 27 grand before. I mean, and so that's why we went to Christian Health Sharing Ministries. There's no way we could afford to spend that kind of money. Thank God that Trump got rid of the individual mandate. Apart from that, and we still had the religious exemption. And so if it weren't for that, I mean, I would have had to go back and I couldn't have retired. I would have had to go back to work just to pay insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It's just insane. And the fact is that they just keep chipping away more and more and more. Our county taxes are going up. Our state taxes are going up. All these taxes are going up. And are we getting better services? No. Are we getting better quality of life? I mean, are they doing things? I mean, our roads are worse now than they were 5 years ago. I mean, the police department's undermanned because they don't have enough. But we got some, multi-million-dollar schools. We got $50 million worth of schools around here in this little county that can't afford to pay for that. So they jack the taxes up on the farmers because they got the land. So they call it the farm tax. The farmers got to pay more taxes. Well, what does that mean? That means that you're going to pay more for goods because farmers are going to pass that on. Well, as much as they can. They can't. They really don't control the prices. The prices are controlled by the market. It's big, unless you catch it on ventures and stuff like that. But the farmers are sort of the slave to the markets, and the markets are all dictated by global markets. We used to sell to this country, but now we're selling global markets. And so there's people buying and trading, and they're making all the money on the farm goods. The farmers aren't. The farmers are locked in. They get their fixed amount. And then you got the big seed companies. You got, Monsanto owns the rights to like every seed known to man. And so you have to pay these premium prices for these genetically modified seeds, and you can't grow any particular kind of seed. You got to grow Monsanto seeds so that you can use Roundup on it. And so you're paying astronomical prices for seeds. You're paying astronomical prices for this chemicals to put on the seeds and to try to make enough production off of each acre that it'd be worth your while. And then you got the taxes on the fuel. It's just, no matter which way you turn, the government has become so evasive in every aspect of America that you have no ability. I mean, if you sit down and figure out how much your taxes cost you, your employment tax, and you figure up your Social Security, and you figure up your telephone's got taxes on it, your cell phone's got taxes on it, your cable bill's got taxes on it, your insurance got taxes on it, every time you eat out somewhere, you got taxes on it, every time you buy something, it's got taxes on it. Where's all that money going? Because I don't see the benefit of it myself, but people are fleeing out of New York, California, and they're coming to our state. And they're voting for Democrats. Oh boy!
I just wish they'd stay in their own states and screw those up.
Oh my gosh, they're bringing them idiotic ideals with them, and wonder why it's getting bad everywhere they go. Because you're a rat fleeing a sinking ship. That's why.
Oh yeah.
I'd laugh, but y'all cry with me. Let's see. I have lost what I was working on. Where'd it go? I lost my notes. Oh, there. Okay. So, but my encouragement is for us as believers, our hope is not here. Because you're not the benefiting. That's true. John was saying that I'm not the benefiting one of the taxes. So we're going to, as believers, we need to go vote. If you haven't voted yet, plan to go vote. If you're not registered to vote, see if you can still register to vote or vote by whatever it is called proxy vote, or I don't know, proxy, some kind of thing. You can still vote paper ballot. They might let you count it or not. Whatever the case is, we need to vote for pro-life. And again, President Trump's the most pro-life president in probably in our lifetimes, Doug.
Yeah.
He went to the Right to Life rally. He has participated in that. He's tried to cut the funding from Planned Parenthood. He's tried to raise the problems. He's been a big proponent in trying to break up the child sex slave traffic. All these kids are getting stolen, taken out of the country, and stolen by these perverts, these pedophiles. He's been busting all kinds of people. He's put resources into these different departments to try to break this stuff up and bust it and get rid of it. He's tried to defend us from the southern borders, from all the drugs coming through, the child trafficking going through there, the people coming here illegally, the criminality, all that is encompassed there. He's done everything he said he would do except for the gun thing. And, he's lucky. I think he's lucky to survive the impeachment. And it was all made up. It was all fake. It was all stuff that actually Biden did. And they impeached him for pointing the light on Biden, pretty much.
Yep.
They had no evidence. So I don't think there is an option out there. There's not another person out there. I think Trump is going to win, legitimately win. But I don't think that they're going to accept it. I think that there are going to be so many fraudulent ballots. The only way that we have a chance is if enough states with the Electoral College put a firewall to it, because California is going to be rampant. I mean, they've already mailed out millions more ballots than there are people there. Just every address. Mm-hmm. And whether you're legal or illegal, nobody will ever know. They'll never track it down. They'll never use the resources to verify that it was legal or illegal. So your states that were pretty much going to go to Biden by hook or crook, well, I think they're still going to go there. But I think that maybe there's enough states, and through the Electoral College process, by that all of the votes for that state goes towards that winner of that state. The Democrats, of course, have been trying to fight that. They want to break up and say only the ones the counties that they win actually get the votes. But as far as I know, that's not been allowed to happen. Do you know?
No, not that I know of.
That's what they want. I mean, they want to do it with Electoral College and whole, because that way then California and New York and a couple other states could rule the rest of the country, and we'd have no ability to stop it. But
It's amazing right now. You can look at the map coverage, and the entire United States, for the most part, except California, Washington, Oregon, um, New York, New Jersey, Delaware, Connecticut, just a few of those states. Everything else is red for the most part. And they're already predicting Biden's got like 219 electoral votes already, and Trump's only got 129. He has to go win all these other states. They're already
said
giving.
the same thing to Hillary though.
Well, they did. They did.
And Hillary was a stronger candidate, even though she couldn't walk and she was falling down all the time. They were having to pick her up off the ground and drag her in and out of cars. She was still a stronger candidate than Biden.
Hey, Biden came to Georgia the other day, man, and came to Warm Springs, Georgia. Population 478.
Yeah.
And at least 2/3 of those are Republicans there. You drive it because I went hunting over there the other day and I went through that way. Every yard has a Trump Pence sign in it. There is no Biden signs anywhere.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies was like, "Is there a funeral? Is there a cemetery down there?" I was like, "Yeah." I said he was probably down there just to make sure everybody got their ballot.
Well, where was it? Isn't that where they buried? What was the last guy that tried to be president for life? Oh, Roosevelt.
Roosevelt, yeah,
Isn't he buried down there?
He is.
I mean, he was the first communist Democrat. I mean, the only problem. I mean, he really was trying. He was the first person to really try to stack the Supreme Court. He kept trying to add justices to get his way to overrule the Senate and the House. It was he was a real crook and criminal. And my grandparents thought the world of him because he got them through the Depression. People, if he had not been president and had somebody in there with a brain, that recession, that depression wouldn't have lasted as long as it did. It would have been over within 3 years or less. And if he hadn't let the monsters of Jekyll Island loose on America, we wouldn't be dealing with all the trouble we are now. The Monsters of Jekyll Island is Edward G. Griffin book. You have to read it. But it talks about how the bankers went together and took over the money supply for the United States. And so we were no longer in charge of our own money, and we still aren't.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Rand Paul and his dad, Ron Paul, have been trying to get the government to audit the Fed to see what's going on behind the doors there and what the actual money supply is supposed to be, as opposed to the inflated balloon of a flatulent monopoly money thing it is. I mean, if people really knew what the actual value that dollar bills are they hold, they would panic and there would be another Great Depression, about 10 times worse.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just gonna act like everything's okay.
Go vote.
Meanwhile,
Go vote, folks.
Meanwhile, I'm buying ammo and silver.
Yeah.
And beans and rice. And I suggest y'all too.
The precious metals. Gold, silver,
if you got
brass.
a place to get out of town, you better be thinking about plans and making sure your gas tanks are topped off before Election Day. And make sure that you already got bags packed by the door and a fire extinguisher and probably a loaded gun. And you can't come to my house. I'm sorry, but
Exactly.
not right now, at least.
Hey, at least I did. AR 500 finally got me my plates the other day for my carrier. So I'm feeling a little better about that now.
Yeah, they had some good prices. You know, they reached out to us about being a sponsor. And after my 21-week wait for my order to come in, I didn't really have a good fuzzy about it. I think they're good people. I think they just got overwhelmed.
Oh, they got hammered, dude. That they put a thing out. AR 500 put a thing out today saying they were going to be getting orders out faster because it took mine 9 weeks from the day I ordered them till the day I got them. But
that's about 1/3 of the time it took me.
I'm like you. I think they were overwhelmed and I don't know. A lot of people ordering body armor, man.
Yep.
And they make good stuff and they got good prices on it. So,
yep, it's a little heavy, but you can get ceramic plates and put them in there. I've got some other armor that I was about to pull the plug on, but I think I've switched to thermal after seeing your setup. I'm thinking I need thermal.
oh yeah.
The night vision's okay. I could see about 150, 200 yards pretty good. Maybe a little bit more with that 1 hour light I've got. But I would like to be able to see without an hour light so I don't give myself away.
That one I have has identification range of 2,400 yards.
Wow.
That's reaching out.
Yeah. That's out there. All right. We're going to have the arm system coming up. First, we'll do a little show sponsor stuff. And if you guys want to support us, we've got Subscribestar at the request of several people. Asked us to get that since Patreon gave us the boot. You just go to Subscribestar and look up God and Guns, and you should find us. And if you have trouble, I posted a link on Facebook. I probably should pin that to the top. You guys can find the link there on Facebook page. Oathkeepers.org. Check that out. I do know if you're an Oathkeeper, they have secured some ammunition. So if you're an Oathkeeper, you can go to oathkeepers.org, and they have secured through a company a whole bunch of 223 9mm 45 308, and I forget what the other caliber was, but they sent a letter to all the members today to go there, and they it's not cheap, but it's ammo. I think it's 70 cents a round for 9mm, but I don't know if that includes shipping. It probably doesn't. So you put shipping. I know there's like a $20 surcharge for ammo, ORMs, and stuff like that. So
it was like 80 or 90 cents around for AR because I looked at it.
Yeah, so ain't cheap, but if you wait this late, you don't get to be picky.
Yeah, you're out of the game anyway.
Yeah, because it's going to be over with by the time it gets here anyway, or it'll be in the midst of it.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, water! Get you a water filter. Definitely get you a water filter, and if you need electricity to live, you might want to get a generator before Tuesday. Just in case. Just in case. I'm not trying to spread fear. I'm just trying to spread hope, love, peace. Go ahead. You got the rest of them.
Hey, Axelson Tactical. Axelson makes an awesome rifle. They make custom pistols. They have a shop that you can order pretty much anything you want off of it. But the rifles are awesome. You've seen mine and Troy's. They got some good stuff out there. They sponsor us, and if you go out to their site, it's axelsonusa.com. And if you find something there you like, which you probably will, use the promo code God and Guns, and they'll give you 10% off just for listening to the show. Also, Palmetto State Armory. Palmetto State's starting to get a little bit of stuff in, but if you notice, man, all the pistol kit, the rifle kits, the price just keeps getting higher and higher. So if you're going to get something, you better watch those daily deals and get you something, and go ahead and get it now, because it's only going to go higher. So you never know. But go check them out at palmettostatearmory.com.
Yeah, what we got for Arm System of the Week?
Hey, this week's Arm System comes to us from Little Rock, Arkansas, and this was October the 20th. A husband came to the rescue of his wife when a stranger grabbed her and tried to force his way into the Benton, Arkansas home on October 20th of 2020. The Tuesday morning, the wife answered the door after hearing the doorbell, thinking it was someone working for her husband. When she answered the door, a man tried to force his way inside. The intruder then grabbed her as he tried to make his way into the home, saying repeatedly, "You know why I'm here." The wife then screamed for help, catching the attention of her husband inside the residence. The husband quickly came to the aid of his wife and freed her from the grip of the intruder. Armed with a firearm, the husband prevented the intruder from coming further into the house, holding him at gunpoint while the police were called. The belligerent would-be robber taunted the husband by saying, "I'm Jesus Christ." When the police arrived, they arrested the intruder. As it turned out, the man had already gone through the couple's vehicle, but nothing had been taken. Police said the intruder drove to the home in a stolen van that contained several stolen items, including purses, wallets, and credit cards. The wife, shaken from the experience, said after the incident, "Always have your guard up. I hate that the world has come to that." And that was THV11TV.com in
Cool.
Little Rock, Arkansas.
Cool. Hey, I found a big version of the break they sent me.
Oh, yeah?
I put it up here on the screen so you guys can see it, maybe. I don't know what it's doing here. But it's the VF18, and it's a vent forward brake. It's a muzzle brake. It's a blast diverter. It's a flash suppression, compensator, and accuracy improvement, shooter safety. And again, there's the size. Let's see here. Zoom in on that a little bit, maybe. Make that a little bit bigger. Can you see it better?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can improve on this just a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit bigger. So they got the 223, they got 243 6mm, 264 6.5, the 308 7.62, 9mm. They got AK-47 and a 74. So cool. Lifetime warranty. Cool deal. And Ernie is the guy I know, and there's his contact information. And so you guys can check it out. It is a very, very cool device. So I wanted to share that with you guys before we head out here tonight.
Tell Ernie I have a 6.5.
You have a 6.5? Need one?
And the brake I have on mine, it vents backwards to the sides.
Yep. This one's a forward vent. And he said they're made for shorties. So you guys can see that's my shorty AR pistol. It's got the blade tech on the back, and I got the carry handle, and then I've got that charging handle they sent as well. It's nice and wide. Got it.
That's a Jackal, isn't it?
Jackal. Yep. So I am going to put her to the test. We're going to get her out, and it's supposed to be a little bit warmer next few days, hopefully, and get out there and put some rounds through it, get some twilight shooting to see how much flame comes out of that puppy with this on there compared to the barking spider and with a standard cage on there as well. All right. So you got anything else tonight? Anybody have any questions out there?
That's it. Make sure you go vote.
Go vote as many times as they let you.
Right. Vote early, vote often.
I'm not bugging out, says Brian.
Nope.
I'm not bugging out either. I'm bugging in. And I told the kids, I said, we're not going to be running around for the next week or so. We're going to stay close to home. Grill out in the backyard. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to wrap this puppy up and put a bow on it. I've got windows open everywhere. All right. Let's see. Send your feedback to Troy at Guns Podcast, Troy at GuidandGunsPodcast.com, or
Doug at GuidandGunsPodcast.com.
please tell your friends about us. Leave us an iTunes review. Like us on Facebook at Facebook.com/GuidandGunsPodcast. And guys, I am just amazed that we have not been booted. We've been throttled, we've been hidden, and we've been censored and all that stuff. But we're still here. I'm surprised, Phil.
Yeah, we are.
Subscribe and follow us on YouTube. Again, I'm surprised YouTube still got us up. So God must be watching over. Follow us on Twitter, and we still got Twitter, Guy and Guns Pod, and Instagram, and MeWe, and Parler, and we're over on Wimkin, which is it's a drama fest over there right now. I don't know what's going on. Something about their developer that like the partner, the guy that started the thing, decided to go off the deep end and went leftist and hacked his own thing and shut her down. I don't know. Sooner or later, hopefully it'll work out. Wimkin, Wimkin. Again, it's a drama fest. I don't know if it's still messed up for iPhone users. Hopefully they get straightened out. MeWe is working. I had several good looking gun trades over there. I was looking at this week. MeWe. So if you like to trade guns, do it in a safe manner and make sure you meet in a public location. But it ain't like it used to be when you just met people anywhere. But these days, you never know when a gang's going to jump you and take everything yet.
Right.
So, Doug's almost done with the Gun Podcast website. I think he's working on
up. They're all there. Yeah, I mean, everything's there right now. We're just trying to get the last little bit of content in it before we go live with it.
Good deal. I'm excited. It's gonna be my best Christmas present ever. Until next time, Doug. Have a blessed week.
And keep your guns close, but keep your Bibles closer.
Good night, y'all. Thanks for joining us. I know it's a Friday, and I don't know if anybody saw our post, but we're glad you guys are here.
I apologize last night, man. That storm that came through knocked my cable out, knocked my internet out, and my phone service is just shoddy at best, and I couldn't do anything. It finally came up about, I don't know, 9:35 last night when a cable came on, and then about 15 minutes later the internet came up.
Good deal. Somebody was saying they're rolling their own over here. Who's that saying that? John? Yeah. Your own load is the best load, John. All right. Yep. Unless you're one of Doug's friends, and then maybe you shouldn't load your own ammo. But other than that, I'm not going to say anything.